You come in and you look around and you say, what am I going to do today? I suppose it all begins with the paint, you know? That's the material of the painting. That's the stuff you get in your hands and underneath your fingernails. It's a very visceral experience.
But a bloody sweep came along, and he just drove his gear into motor. I turned around to let him have the way.
The paint I use, I grind myself from pure pigment. It's completely unadulterated, so you get the pure colour. I grind it with cold pressed linseed oil with a bit of beeswax to give it some stability. I pick up the pigments when I'm abroad, either on holidays or working, and I always make it my mission to go investigating the back streets, and you usually find an old art shop around there somewhere that has some local pigment or some imported pigment, so you get a variety of colours that you don't normally see in the tubes you buy in the art shops. This painting I'm working on at the moment is called The Golden Apples of the Sun. It's based on a line from one of Yeats's poems, The Song of Wandering Aengus. It's a poem full of wonderful imagery and begins with the line, I went down to Hazelwood because the fire was in my head. Hazelwood is an area here in Sligo. I could almost see it if I looked out the window there. It's just across the lake. It's a lovely area to go for a walk in the summer, which I'm sure Yeats did many's a time. What I try to do when I'm painting is achieve a state of what I might call pure instinct. I don't want to think about it too much. I just want to paint and engage with the painting and the material. If I find myself having a conversation in my head about painting, I know then that I'm not in the zone, that I'm letting the verbal aspect of my mind take over from the visual aspect of my mind. I used to think that the verbal aspect was all that there was. That really this person you have a conversation with in your head was synonymous with yourself, with your mind. But I realise now that there's an awful lot more going on in a person's mind. You can tap into these other areas with a little bit of practice. I suppose the same applies to playing music, making art, or any of the arts, probably science too. I think it's very therapeutic. It's valuable to let your mind wander, and you never know where you're going to end up. In my paintings, I try to distill the human experience down to a couple of elements. The wanderer on the road always seemed to me an archetypical motif. Goes all the way back to Odysseus, the Greeks, and even Leopold Bloom wandering the streets of Dublin, or Yeats wandering the hills of Sligo. I identify with this character who is on a journey in life, and I usually have my trusty pal Randy alongside for company. The pictures are not self-portraits in the conventional sense, as I'm not trying to achieve a likeness. They're more like a portrait of every man. We are all on a journey. Who knows where it'll end?